So, what's happening, YouTube? You're in the building with the Life Game of Avengers, and we have the ladies of Life Game up here. We've got the sister Moochie. How you doing tonight? And we got the living
Hi.
legend Larry, who's doing whatever kind of dance he's doing. And y'all know what we here for. We here to review episode 3, season 4 of Snowfall. And man, they ain't pulling no punches. They got to the business immediately. So Muchella, give me your 1 minute feelings on the episode. Then we'll start breaking it down clip by clip after Larry.
Okay, look, I got my little book.
Oh, Moochie's becoming
got notes.
Yeah, I got notes to see. I'm prepared this time. I was prepared last time, but my notes is over in the corner. But I feel like it was a build-up episode because you know how once it gets up to episode 6 and 7, it's like a climax. So this was a build-up episode. It came in with a bang with the first 2 episodes, and I like what was going on. It was some things that I didn't like that was done.
Okay.
And wait till we get to that point. But for now, like that's my synopsis so far of it. Like it was a build-up episode. It was pretty good.
Okay, and you know we'll break it down before we're done with this live stream. Brother Larry, 1 minute. Overall feelings on episode 3.
Yeah, man, I really like this episode because it really showed Franklin and his mom in some ways both moving past where they were before. You know, it showed Franklin saying, okay, I'm going to move into this new sort of ruthless, cutthroat sense of a businessman, not just with drug dealers, but with anybody. Like he was going to take those people's bookstore that he loved those people. He loved that bookstore, but he was like, they got to go. They're in the way. And then we got to see his mom. We got to see how cold and calculating she has been. Like it seemed like in that one moment, now you'll probably talk about it later, but in one moment during the show, we can see how she basically just decided, I'm shucking off all the ideas of my son is just this good, innocent guy who used to do this and that. And she's just down with the program now. We just get to see her be completely down with the program and put Franklin up and just say, look, do what you have to do. So
I feel you. A good one. For me, they accelerated the speed, but Muchella had to bring me back to earth because I thought they might drag out the whole killing of the fake ass Hispanic Brad Pitt, the police officer in Mexico. I thought they might drag that out 2 or 3 episodes, but they didn't.
So did I.
They went on ahead, took his ass out, and Muchella said they took him out because he's holding up their product. They don't have time to be messing around waiting for him, you know, chasing him up and down the highways and byways for 5 episodes. He's holding up their money. So they took his ass out quick, and I was like, wow. That you got him that fast?
If Gustavo didn't do that thing throwing that guy off the balcony, they would have had help with the Mexican government people.
That's true, because they did meet with that lady. They had that meeting. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we always do, to get the mood right, we show a replay clip of what happened in the last episode, some of our favorite moments. Take a look at this, and then we'll go piece by piece through this review.
No, you don't have to hit me. We can work this out.
You was hyped.
It was good to me to see him get that get back on fake ass Brad Pitt going Hispanic that quickly, because I did not like what he did. You kill that family, then you're gonna say, I want my 100 G's. He deserved everything he got. But the question I have for both of you guys, is he dead? He didn't shoot him in the head.
He choked him. He choked him out after he died.
So he's officially dead. So that's what he did. He choked him out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
he suffocated him. He choked him out.
he choked him out.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get back to that section in a second. So let's just
He
start
wanted to
from.
look in his eyes when he was killing him.
Hey,
Yeah,
I don't blame
that
him.
is some cold. That is some
Yeah,
cold stuff right there. He wanted to see that dude's lights go out.
he
Yeah.
did, man. He turned them high beams the hell out. You know what I'm saying? So let's start from the very beginning. I'll give it to you first, Larry. When we saw this opening scene with Franklin talking to his paid cop, Franklin was basically putting the cop in his place, saying, "Look, bro, your ass worked for me. Don't be stepping up on my family no more." What was going through your mind, brother Larry? What did you think was going to happen? Did you think the cop was going to fall in line, or do you think there was going to be pushback?
No, I knew there was going to be pushback. I didn't know in what way there was going to be pushback. But the fact that he went after his moms like that, when he first went after his moms, my initial thought was, oh, Franklin's going to have him killed. But what he did was so much better because Franklin had been talking to Leon about doing things in a different way and not just being these street thugs, but doing things in a different way. And what Franklin did in that moment was doing something in a different way. Because Franklin was like, I could have killed him. I could have sent somebody over there to take him out or went to his house and burned his house down with his kids inside. But instead, he gutted that dude. He gutted him. He had that dude taken off the streets and put in an evidence locker somewhere. I mean, he gutted that dude. And so that dude, not only does he have to know and live with the fact that he's off the streets, but he has to understand that it was Franklin who did it to him. And in some respects, it was himself who did it to him because all he had to do was continue to play by the rules. But he was upset. He was mad. He's like, oh, here's this young black dude, and I'm a cop, and I'm white, and I should be able to tell him what to do. And instead, he finds himself now completely sidelined. And, there's a couple of things. One, don't take the money and then still try and be righteous. And two, don't touch anybody's mama, ever, period.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
What did I tell y'all last week? If that boy, if something happened to that boy mother, he gonna lose his mind.
Mm-hmm. So Muchello,
he didn't lose his mind. He got right in his mind. If that was Leon would have killed that cop. But Franklin decided to do it. Franklin just said, I'm going to go, like some people, you would call it gangster. Franklin was like, I'm going to take this dude out the way white people do. I'm gonna make sure that this dude is so far off the board that he can't touch anybody, and it will never come back to me.
Muchello, what did you think in this opening scene when Franklin put the cop in his place? And boy, they really cast a great guy who looks like he's a bigot. He looks like he's a white supremacist. He looks like he's one of them people that was hanging off the side of the Capitol looking like a white monkey.
I'm gonna have to push back on you on that one, Lamar, because I'm not sure this dude was a bigot. I think he hated him because he killed his partner.
Larry, I said looked like. I didn't say he was. I said
hey,
looked like. I didn't say he was. Hey, Nita, I like your background. Go ahead, Muchello.
I feel like I like the way he was talking to him, letting him know, like, you are not in charge. You are not in charge. You took the money, so you can't go and do what you think you're gonna do. You don't call the shots here. Don't come to my father's shelter and don't hassle him.
That's right.
Don't mess with any of my family.
Right. And like a G. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have Nita, the diva, in the building. Got the Snowfall poster in the background. Got the fresh on deck makeup. Eyebrows look like M's from McDonald's and everything. The chick is stunning. Got the hoop earrings going. Nita, tell us about this opening scene with Franklin and his old cop.
His days are numbered. That's all I'm saying. His days are numbered. Sorry, you guys. I got new Invisalign, so if I don't sound the same or sound like I have a lisp, it's because of that whole thing going on.
Okay, you good.
Yeah, I'm just saying his days are numbered, and that particular what actually played out in the rest of the episode, he definitely his days are numbered. So.
Oh yeah, you saw that coming. All right, folks, we're gonna move on to the next clip. Now, in this particular scene right here, when Gustavo got knocked out, I can't lie to y'all. He got hit in the head, and then he winds up in this little warehouse. I can't lie. I thought it was Fuentes and those cops. I did. It turned out to be your boy Teddy. And this is when Teddy revealed that he works with the CIA to Gustavo. Now, Larry, what was going through your mind when this whole scene broke down?
Yeah, when he told him, I think that, I think Gustavo was like, come on, man. He's like, look, man, we've been through too much stuff. But, at the same time, when you see all this stuff, I feel like Gustavo was like, he was sort of like, I knew something was up, but he was sort of relieved at the same time because he was like, he obviously knew those dudes had him. They could have done whatever they wanted to with him, and nothing happened to him. So he knew that he was good,
Right.
And I was really surprised that that Reed chose that point to reveal himself. I feel like he could have still maybe had the dude knocked out or something, taken somewhere else. And then when maybe he comes in like he's rescuing, Gustavo or something, and then they later go after him. But it was a good way they played it. I like the fact that he revealed himself to him because now he knows what he's into going forward. And I like the way Reed put it to him when he said, look, man, I'm CIA. And now that means you're with the CIA too. And Gustavo knows once you're connected with a dude who's in the agency, no one's ever going to believe you that you didn't know. Mm-hmm. It's not like you can go and say, I didn't know the dude was a Fed. And so they're just going to be like, we don't know. So you got to go. You got to die. So he knows Gustavo's in it for the long haul with him.
Lucella, what was your thoughts on this scene?
I'm like, he revealed himself as him being in the CIA. My first thought was, when is he going to do that for Franklin? And at first, when I saw him in the chair, I did think he was going to die. I thought that the police, the other people had him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Moochie.
They told him. Yes.
Moochie, Franklin, he already knows that. Franklin and him already have established that. Franklin told him that he was in the CIA. It was actually Franklin's dad who said, you need to look into this. I think this dude's with the agency. And when Franklin did his research.
Franklin did all of that digging, but I don't think he knows that.
No, he does. He already knows. He confirmed it. He and Reed talked about it a while back. And that's sort of the whole storyline with this bookstore, is that these bookstore people were the ones that helped him do this research.
Okay.
We didn't get. When we get to that, I got a whole lot to say about.
Oh boy, I know. Some of y'all who love Franklin is on the outs, and some of us think he was just growing up in business. We'll get there. Nita, what did you think about this scene with Gustavo being caught and essentially his butt brother done revealed to him he's CIA?
I thought he was. I thought it was the police people too, because I thought they was going to be anticipating him coming, and I think that the CIA dude, he revealed himself because he knew that the line that the police crossed was too great. Like he wasn't going to stop. So I'm saying it was just like one of those things. Like, okay, what do? I got to kind of reel him back in, and I think he was just out of desperation. He probably just did that because the line was crossed. He's drawn in the sand. What happened to the kid?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Where is the kid? Where is the kid? Where's the kid?
I thought he was gonna fall in line though after he told him he was in the CIA and we're gonna have this. We got to take care of this quietly.
Nah, bro.
I'm assuming that the kid is okay because Gustavo said the kid's an orphan now, so he didn't say anything. Gustavo didn't say anything to the effect of like, the kid's missing, or the kid's dead, or the kid's somewhere. Right. He said the kid's an orphan in such a way that led you to believe that the kid was safe and okay. And that his biggest
we need confirmation of that,
Larry.
They need to give us confirmation that the kid is safe, is okay. I need more than just hearing he's an orphan, because when I hear that, I'm thinking, okay, the kid is missing and he's an orphan because his parents is dead. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, you're right. His parents are dead, but that's what's making him an orphan. But I think the fact that Gustavo is just like the parents are dead and the kid's an orphan now. I think him saying that is leading us to believe that that his most pressing concern about the kid is that he's an orphan and not that the kid's missing. I feel like if the kid was missing, his more pressing concern would be, we need to go get this kid. And he'd probably be less likely to go kill this other dude until he had the kid back. So I think the kid is safe.
Okay, well, we'll find out. All right, now we got to talk about another chick up here who I have predicted to you all is going to kick the bucket. I don't know when. Larry thinks she's going to survive. I think Nita thinks she's going to survive. But me and Mooch, we here. We think that somebody going to clip this chick. And before we discuss her, be sure to subscribe to everybody's YouTube channel who's on this panel. We all have channels. Nita's trying to grow her social media. So is Moochie. So is Larry. Subscribe to everybody. Now, this is what I'm talking about. The reporter Irene here giving the googly eyes to I think he's a detective who wants Franklin bad. I mean, he wants Franklin more than Halle Berry wanted Justin McKnight in one of them white movies she won an Oscar for. He wants Franklin.
What?
And Irene, the reporter, she wants to get this information. So Nita, I'm gonna go to you first. What do you think is going to happen to this kind of scratch my back relationship between Irene and this cop who has already basically given her too much information as it is?
Right. I felt like he kind of like signed her death warrant. Like I was like, oh no, she's about to be Professor Jabari, you know? So
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Nita,
man. She's doing crossover events on us.
No,
crossovers.
You did not go there, Nita. Boy, that boy.
She just treated your question like Allen Iverson, just crossed over.
Oh, I know what you want, Larry. Let me give this to the people. Anita, you deserve this. This is for you.
We just talk about practice. We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how...
Good toss, Nita.
We're talking about Snowfall. Mm-hmm. Snowfall. Not Power. Right. Snowfall.
So Moochie, what were your thoughts on this little relationship that's coming together between these two?
Her ticket is about to be punched.
Thank you.
Listen, her ex-husband, he already gave her the warning.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he really want Franklin, but once he started digging, he like, you know what? Let me leave this alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I would protect you. I'm like, exactly. You don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch you.
Larry, what you got for these two?
I don't think she's going out. I think she might be in this for the long haul, because the thing is, I know they're basing this off a true story, but even though it's not historically accurate all the way. But the thing that actually broke out, that sort of broke the this whole thing with the drug dealing and the CIA and all that involvement, was a reporter. It was a story. It wasn't from somebody from LA. It was actually a guy from San Jose. But I think they may keep her in her for the long haul. And when they get ready to end this series, I think it might be because this reporter breaks the story wide open. So I think she might be in it for the long haul. Okay.
I can respect that. Now we're going to go to one of these scenes that's causing Moochie a whole lot of trouble. I'm going to give it to Moochie first. I'm going to give Mooch.
Okay, this is the first scene. I was all for it in the beginning.
Okay. I
was like, oh, he's going to help these people. They're going to lose their store. He's going to help them. Okay. I know he's going to help them because he got, he knows them from before. He knows them from back in the day through his parents.
True.
So I'm like, you come in there, she feeding you and you looking through, doing your research and all of that. I'm like, okay, he's gonna help these people. When we see in this scene, I was all for it. I was happy.
Okay. All right. We'll cap it there. Nita, what was you thinking when he came in here and these people was telling him we about to lose our store?
I thought it was just an opportunity. So I forget. Is that the property that his mother wants?
That's the property that the city is trying to get, and they're basically trying to use almost gentrification rules to undercut them the value and push them out. And
Right.
so, they was telling the story to Franklin.
They filed a lot of violations. They said that the building got a lot of violations.
Yeah, but telling you, as someone who owned commercial property, they can pull that bull job anytime they want to. I mean, for real. They could have wrote a new rule last week, and you done got your building up to code, and then they'll come fuck with you and say it's out of violation. I mean, yeah. So, but go ahead, Nita.
Oh yeah, no, that's all I was saying. I was I thought that he was trying to help them out in the long run, but then him turning around and kicking them out. I was okay with what he was doing at first, not knowing that he was going to actually move into that direction. But then when I mother say, speed it up or get it done or something like that, and so I knew they was playing a political hand as well, trying to,
And what you call it, polytricks? that's her favorite saying for politics, polytricks. Right. Oh, Larry, I give it to you, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this, Larry. When he walked into this store and they had that sweet moment, I knew that this was a speed bump in the plot. I knew something dirty was going to happen to these people. I didn't know what, and I didn't know who was going to do it. But I knew something dirty was going to happen. Well, what did you think, Larry?
Yeah, I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew he was taking that property. And, it was just a matter of, is he going to take it by money and finesse, or is he going to take it by force? I knew he was going to get it. And to be honest with you, I really liked this scene. It showed not just this scene, but this storyline in this episode. It really showed that he was just becoming not just a drug dealer. He was a cold, calculated businessman who was trying to do things in the right way. I mean, because if you're going to take someone's property, that's how you do it in some respects, because there's no coming back later with them going to court and trying to say, oh, he tricked me out of my property. He did this. No, because then they'll come back and they're going to say, did he not pay double market value? Well, yes, he did. Did he offer you a place to relocate your business free of charge? Well, yes, he did. So he didn't trick you. Well, now that you put it like that, I get the fact that this place has an emotional tie for the owners. They've been there for years. They serve this community, and I get that they are upset that they feel like they were manipulated out of their property, which they were. However, strictly from, and I hope one of those people, we probably will never see them again on screen, but I hope they're, just in the fake universe that's out there. I hope that these people actually, one of them decided, let's take his deal. Let's take his deal and move to the other location, because even a mile away is still going to be serving that same community. So even though they may not be in the same location, they could be, like he said, it's a mile away. It's bigger and it's nicer. And so, they move out there, maybe gives them more room for more inventory, gives people an opportunity to have more people in the store at once. It just makes it so they can serve the community maybe in a bigger, better way. And on top of that, they got paid twice the property value. So, moving into this new spot, they're just ahead of the game financially on every level. And I hope one of them comes to their senses and tells the other, hey, this is an opportunity that's screwed up, but we can't pass it up. Like the way we got into this opportunity maybe really jacked up, but moving forward, it's good not to take advantage.
All right. Moving on to the next one. Now, this next scene that they showed us, it started making me look at the uncle, Jerome, kind of with the googly eyes. And this is what we're talking about. When Man Boy said at the end of this exchange of their weapons, when Franklin wasn't around, us three had a good thing. Now keep this in mind about the uncle before I give it to you guys, the panel. In the beginning, the uncle didn't want to have anything to do with the Snowfall. He didn't want to have nothing to do with it. He wanted to stick to his weed game. He fought it. Okay, Franklin goes away for a little while. Man-child eases on in there. Y'all know how sometimes that grass look greener with another woman, and you let that other woman ease on in there till you realize, damn, this woman got the cooties. I don't want to know. I thought the grass was green, but it's really brown. Do y'all see any chance of Jerome jumping ship and dealing with Man Boy? And Moochie, you get it first.
I don't think so. He looked at him like nah. But now that I think about what you're saying, it looks like Franklin's gonna step away from this anyway, like that. Where he might be the number one guy after this, if he stays with the business and the real estate.
Okay. Anita, what you think?
I think just like Louis thought that he was gonna try to reason his way and try to like plant ideas. You always have to, hit your enemy at the knees, take them out completely, because he is going to start a little rift in the organization by keep putting bugs in their ears, saying little things, to cause confusion on the inside.
Okay. Get with that. Larry, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely not. There's no way Jerome's going over there to work with Man Boy. Not going to happen. I think that they had that little exchange in the moment where Man Boy tried to. It seemed like he almost was trying to punk Jerome in a minute, and Jerome looked him dead in his eye, like I will dead you right now. He looked at him in such a way, like like I don't like doing this, but don't get me wrong, I will do it. And and I think Man Boy needs to really just settle back and just let things happen for him instead of trying to push the issue, because the thing is that obviously he doesn't understand the support that Franklin has, but also the thing is that Man Boy can never replace Franklin. Like, he thinks he can replace Franklin, but Reed would never work with Man Boy. Because Man Boy's he's too much of a wild card. He's too hot-headed. He's not stable. I can't say for certain, but I'm almost willing to guarantee that Reed was out there looking for someone like Franklin before he found Franklin. Like, he probably dealt with a few other people like Man Boy and some others and didn't like what he saw and how they were moving. And when he found someone that was smart and calm and thoughtful like Franklin, he was like, that's my dude. And that's why he rides with him. And he would never, even if Man Boy took Franklin out, he would never roll with Man Boy.
Okay. All right. We'll see what happens with that. I got my eyes on Jerome because through the trailers, we've seen some things that might happen. Here we go. I'm going to give this to Anita first. This is the politics area. So they done went and got this dude that looked like Colonel Taylor from a different world. Every time I see his black ass, he's a bad guy. Everywhere you go, when you see him, I know. When you see him, you know some stuff about to go down, and he's on the wrong end of it. But Anita, when you saw Sissy walk into this man's house, you saw her talking that business job. She's a real estate agent. What did you think was going to happen between these two? Did you think the deal was going to get cut?
No, I mean, not right now. I just think he looks so greasy. Look at him. He just look. I can see it coming down the line.
Okay.
I don't think like right off the back, but yeah, he looked like he's greasy.
Oh goodness, Larry, what did you think about these two and Sissy's meeting with him?
Yeah, I knew the deal was getting done. I mean, the deal, for all intents and purposes, the deal was done in that meeting, because basically she's sort of like, she on the business side with Franklin stuff, she's the second in command, and Franklin obviously is the head. This guy is the head of his organization. He's not gonna finalize a deal with the second. He's only gonna finalize with the head person. So once she went in there and talked to him, he told her exactly what he wanted and what he needed. They made the deal right there. All that needed to happen was what did happen, was for Franklin to go in there and just hand over the paperwork and get everything done. And that was it. So she made the deal. Franklin just sealed it up. And you know, I think the dude's gonna potentially be a really good ally. I mean, he's no doubt he's slimy, he's slippery, no doubt about it. But that's what politicians, and not a politician, but that's what real estate developers and these people who are all politically connected, they have to be a bit slippery because they're dealing with politicians. You have to be a little bit slippery when you're dealing with those folks. And I mean, but we can see that the dude had no qualms about calling in favors when he needed. He knows who Franklin was and what he does, and he had no qualms about getting that police officer off of Franklin's back. That didn't come from Franklin. That came from that dude.
That came from him, yo.
Yep.
So
Moochie, Larry, time's up. Time up, Larry. Moochie, what'd you think?
I knew the deal was gonna get done. The part I'm worried about is he's gonna get greedy and try to take money from Franklin.
Oh, I see that coming too.
That's where it might get ugly.
I see that coming too. Because at this point,
he did take care of the cop for him. So that was a plus. So somebody like that, he gonna need, and he might have to take the L and lose some money.
But did any of y'all get a feel that he might like Franklin enough to try to mentor him? Did y'all see that handshake they did when he alluded to Franklin? You know, if this was a business, Franklin said, if I was doing a business deal, the guy tells him get 10%. Then they had like a little buddy moment. They both looked like their eyes was melting into each other. Do y'all think that some kind of mentorship could come from this, or is it going to be just strictly business?
I think it might be a mentor moment. I think he might mentor him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the dude's going to be probably is maybe a mentor in some levels. I think he likes Franklin because let's just do the math on this dude. This dude right there is probably 60-something years old, maybe a little bit older, but let's just say he's 60-something years old. This is set in the 80s, which means that let's just say 30 years prior. Let's say he was 30 years prior when he started to go, whenever he got his thing going. That would put things in the 50s, in the 1950s. Now you tell me what black man in the 1950s was rolling like that. That was, unless you were a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, there just weren't a lot of black folks out there that were rolling like that unless they were crooked, because that was what was available to you. And so I could see where dude was probably looking at Franklin like, yeah, you remind me of me when I was young. Got into whatever hustle you can get into to make your money, and now you're trying to go legit. And so I think he's looking at Franklin like, yeah, I can work with this dude. I can work with him.
Okay. Well, here's another scene that was it probably fit two different narratives. It was chaotic, it was sad, but it was also a turning point for this particular individual's life. We seen some people get their asses clipped. We seen some people get their asses kicked in the bucket. And we also saw a tooth whose ass kicked the bucket. And I am talking about this young lady right here. That tooth kicked the damn bucket. But I do think this was a turning point for her, because when she pulled that tooth out and those other crackheads was laughing at her, she went to the mirror and was looking at herself like, what the hell have I become? Muchella, you get it first. What was your thoughts when you saw this scene?
This was like that long stare in the mirror, like, what have I done to myself? What have I done to myself? What have I become? Because she was so much into the chase of getting high, she wasn't paying attention to none of that.
Nope, sure wasn't. Nita the Diva, what were your thoughts?
I think she is going to turn her life around. I think that might have been one of her rock bottom moments. Then the moment that she had with Leon, it just seems like they're trying to turn her in a different direction. Yeah, that's what I see where it's going.
Larry, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I think she's probably going to turn her life around. I think that, and she's pulled her tooth out. She had that look in the mirror, but it was also when she looked over on the couch and saw those two people that were over there smoking crack, and the way they were responded to her in her moment of crisis when she had this tooth come out. She looked at them in such a way of like, geez, who am I with now? Who are these people that I'm around? You know?
Yep.
And so I think that I wouldn't be surprised if she actually ends up contacting Melanie somehow, and Melanie helps her get clean.
Okay, I can see that. Good point, Larry. I could definitely see that. Good point. Real good point. All right, y'all. Now we get into a hump here. We're starting to get to some of the stuff that was causing a lot of controversy in this episode. I'm going to show y'all a series of pictures that describes a whole scene and want to figure out what you guys' thoughts were. So let's just start with this. So we're sitting down, we having dinner, and Franklin's explaining what his plan is for that library. And of course, the dad, who seems like he's a really, really good dude, is like, nah, you can't do this. And Sissy's actually with it. Okay. We then have bump, 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 knock on the door. And who is it? Old Officer Monkey. That's what I'm going to call him. And he takes Sissy, the other officer pulls a gun on the daddy. Then they get back in the car together. Then the officers split up. And this officer takes Sissy to the grave, shoves her face in the grave of the black cop that died, and then let her go. And this is when they recover her by that not the grave site, but they recover her by the mortuary. And she basically tells Franklin, get that deal done. Larry, you get this one first. Thoughts when you was watching this whole scene play out?
Yeah, when I first saw this, I was thinking to myself, I wasn't sure what he was going to do with his moms. At first I was thinking, okay, maybe he's just going to arrest her and they're going to try and go after the moms legally. But then when that other cop got out the car, I was like, oh, okay, he's about to get it in with her. And I thought maybe he was going to beat her up or something. But the way that it went, I'm glad he didn't beat her up, because I think if he would have really put hands on her like that, I think Franklin just would have called all out. He just would have taken all the gloves off and just been like, just put a contract out on this cop and just had the dude deaded up. But, the fact that he didn't, and I loved it, was, to me, the most important thing about this scene was how the mother responded, because when they picked her up and they asked, and the mother, I think it was her father asked, said, what did he say to you? And she said, nothing that I didn't already know. She was letting us all know. I know that Franklin killed our neighbor. I know that he killed that cop. And then when she went over there and told him, get this deal done, she was letting us know, I'm all in. I'm in this. I'm your partner completely. Go get this deal done and let's make stuff happen. She was at that point, she was pissed. It was no more, let's pretend like my son's a good guy. Let's just do this. If we're gonna do it, let's go and do it.
Gotcha. All right, Mooch, you in the game. What was going through your brain when you saw this whole scene play out?
I feel like he did rough her up a little bit when he slammed the car and her face at the what you call it. I was like, I was mad at that, and I did think he was gonna beat her up at first. I was like, if he beat her up, like I said, if he beat her up, that boy gonna lose his mind.
He did.
And then when he showed up, when she called him, I was glad her and Jerome reconciled.
Yeah.
So
yeah, good point.
I was happy about that part.
Okay. And
so now they all on the same page now.
Right. I mean, sometimes, events like that do bring you together when you've been squabbling. So Nita the Diva, what was going through your mind when this scene unfolded?
It was, I didn't know where we was going to go with this. I was like, oh my God, because, the Black community with the white cops and stuff, I didn't know where this was going. When he went to the grave site, I was like, oh, okay, he's going to his partners, okay, whatever. So I was mad that he roughed her up. I did think that something else worse was going to happen to her. And the fact that I just want whatever happens, I know Franklin is not going to let that go. But what I want Franklin to do is to keep his hands clean. I need him to have people making moves for him. Let that money work for you and stop getting your hands dirty and getting in the middle of things. But other than that, yeah, I think they're all in, and I think we brought them a little bit closer, and we'll see where it goes because it looks like they're motivated now.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comment section, was it AJ Rich Young said Franklin's not as powerful as last season's. Said that cop would have been dead last season. He lost some loyal soldiers. I have to disagree. I think Franklin is more powerful now than what he was in past seasons. And I think that oftentimes people think of power as who's willing to kill someone right away. And that's not necessarily true power. It is, but sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is take that player off the board in such a way that it doesn't come back on you. Franklin is a businessman, and he doesn't want that pushback. If you kill a cop, the cops are like gang members. If you kill a cop, they're going to come back for you. They're going to come back for you tenfold. And so by simply getting him off the board, by getting him reassigned to an evidence locker where he's no longer on the streets, you don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, you just don't.
And if the dude ever comes for you, then you can file. I mean, Franklin's already and his family have already filed a harassment case against the LAPD. If this cop just starts working this case off the, just as a side case off the grid, all they have to do is file another complaint, another lawsuit. This dude might be fired. His captain told him, if you even look at going over there, look at the streets. He was like, I don't know who you pissed off, but if you even say one little peep of pushback, you're gonna be gone. So, I mean, I think Franklin did that thing. I mean, if you're going to take a cop off the board, that's how to do it. This dude was basically just neutered. I mean, he is nothing.
Now, I'm with AJ on this, Larry. We ain't seen the last of this cop. We ain't seen him.
No, but he's not going to have any standing when we do. But when he comes back, he's not going to be able to come back with any real authority.
We'll see. We'll see.
He may get down and dirty.
He might, but we'll see, because this is not the end of him. Because they want this to be the end, they would have killed him. That's how I look at it. Here you go. I'm gonna give this one to Nita first. This is the scene that has taken people against Franklin, and this is the one Moochie talking about. This is when he goes in there. He tells the people partially the truth, but he also lies to them to their face. Nita, you go first. Thoughts and feelings when he went in there and handled his business.
It was messed up. But like I said, like Larry said earlier, he didn't put them in a bad position. He actually hooked them up like for real. And so, they just take a minute to think about it. And sometimes older people, they like to get their heels in the ground and stuff like that. But if you look at the bigger picture, I feel like he didn't really do them dirty. He gave them all that money. Like, you got all that stuff, but you can get somebody to hire somebody to come get this. You got until Friday. Oh, well.
Oh God Almighty. Larry, what was your thoughts on this scene?
Yeah, I think this is one of those things where I think that, he probably could have had the conversation with them a little bit differently. Maybe it would have helped ease. But I think at some point he should have asked them. He should have asked them, look, what's the real thing that you're looking to do here? Do you just want to be attached to this particular building, or do you want to serve the community? Because if your true interest here with this bookstore is to serve the community, it's supposed to be a place that people that are often, shoved away from knowledge can come here to acquire it. If that's your true intention, then take this money and take the larger store that I've offered you and serve that end goal in a bigger way. And if that's not your goal, if your goal is just simply to be honorary and be locked into this location, then take my money and be mad.
Okay. And Moochie, I know how you feel, but please tell the people how you felt about this scene with Franklin.
I was like, this is when he was like, trust me. I said, oh, it's something, this is not gonna go well. And then I'm looking at the man, he doesn't remember stuff, because remember in the beginning, he thought he ain't seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
And he just saw him a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he took advantage of them. And I was really disappointed in him. Like I was like, what the? Why would you do that? But now that the way Larry explained it, if he would have explained, like, if you're here for the community, if he would have said something like that, then maybe they probably wouldn't have been that mad.
Right, right. If he could have communicated what he was doing a little better, it probably would have helped out.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
because people are often concerned about legacy, and if you're concerned about legacy, you have to ask, what is that to you? What does that legacy mean? Is legacy the physical building, or is legacy what you're providing to the community? Because if it's the community, then you can do that somewhere else on a larger scale, what I'm offering you. But if it's just the building, then you're just gonna be mad, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. Well, they'll just be mad, and we're moving on.
They was gonna lose it anyway, though.
That's what I'm saying. But like you said, he could have handled it better. Because you're right, they were going to lose, and they wasn't going to get the amount of money Franklin has put on the table, nor get a backup place that's bigger. So
Yeah.
you know, so there's been a lot of people pushing back on Franklin, and the only thing I push back on Franklin is he could have communicated the whole thing a little better. Now, here we go, ladies. Have you ladies ever drunk something of the alcoholic beverage, and then it just made your body start feeling warm in other places than your stomach? You know, maybe, you know, below the waistline, and it makes you look at somebody with a look like this and say, why don't you stay tonight? Well, they gave us the softest side of Irene last night, ladies and gentlemen. She was drinking some of that panty juice stuff, and husband was fixing sinks and stuff like that. Y'all know how women love plumbers. And she asked him to spend the night. And you know what the brother said? The brother said, I'm in a relationship. And she gave him this look right here. That's like, whoa.
Like, what?
Whoa. Larry, you go first on this one. Thoughts and feelings on this scene where we got to see a vulnerable part of Irene.
Yeah, that was a little sad right there, because after he said, no, I got to go, you know, and said that he was seeing someone else, she really just she started to cry, and it was really sad in that moment, you know, it really showed how all alone she is. And and you know, it speaks to a lot of people who are very, very successful at what they do. Like, she's one of those very dedicated, hardcore journalists. And people who are, and this goes for any field, it doesn't matter what, if you're in business or a reporter or an athlete, people are often very, very lonely because they dedicate so much of who they are and what they are to that one particular goal that everybody else sort of gets sidelined. They get left behind, or they're just sort of second tier in their life. And eventually the other people get tired of being second. And
yeah.
I mean, we see it all the time. We see it with business. You'll see CEOs that work 16, 18 hours a day, and they get upset with their wives. Why did you leave me? Why did you cheat on me with the pool man? I gave you everything. You have this big, beautiful home and cars and maids. And they're like, yeah, but I don't have anybody to love me with it. And the pool man was there, you know? And so, you know, it's the same thing. It's like she's up there, she's running around chasing all these stories and writing these great stories and becoming this renowned journalist that people are fearful of. When she walks into a room, people are terrified. Like, who's there? Here's this reporter that's gonna make me start talking. But that all comes at a cost, and we see that the cost was with her relationship. It's gone, you know? Yeah. I mean, she had enough of a good relationship with him that he still comes over and fixes stuff, but at the same time, they're not together.
Moochie, what'd you think with Mr. Fix It and Miss I drunk some hot sake and my panties is warm?
She got turned down. She got turned down, and the look on her face was like, "Really? You turning me down?" You know, she said what you're supposed to say. I'm happy that you found somebody, but she really didn't mean it.
No, she didn't.
She wanted him to be available for her. And I want to know why her daughter don't like her.
Right. That's
I think that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. She let her career come before her family, husband and daughter. And she might be resentful.
So, you know, sometimes it's hard to find that balance by people when you're dealing with anyone who's in a high stress, high attainment career, whether it's lawyer, doctor, engineer, a CEO, like Larry said, it's hard to find that balance. And then when you sit back, you look at your accomplishments and you have all these things, you don't have anyone to keep that bed warm for you that you really care about. So I wonder if this is going to make her vulnerable for the rest of the season. I guess we'll find out, because they could be putting this new cop that's giving her all this information. He might be feeling two voids. We'll see.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that might be a new love interest.
What'd you say, Moochie?
With the other information.
Yeah, I mean, look, all he got to do now is say, just show me where to put it. He done gave her everything else. Show me where to put it, and maybe they'll do the thing. I don't know. Here we go to the next scene, and Moochie, we're gonna come to you first with this. Now, I was rooting for Gustavo. I can't even lie. Y'all been hearing me say this since last week. I've been rooting for Gustavo, and when they went to this club. Gustavo goes up in the club, my people, grabs homeboy, throws his ass down while people is down there. They having, let me let y'all see my face. They having drinks, okay? They're having their dinner meals. People down there dressed up. It was a pool down there, for God's sake. He threw his ass down there and then carved $100 grand on his head. And then we get the old fake ass Mexican Brad Pitt standing here like, who the fuck are these guys? Larry, I mean, Muchella, what was going through your brain through this whole scene when Gustavo goes through the club like a madman, grabs this little brother right here, throws him down, carves up $100 grand, and then here comes Mexican Brad Pitt.
I called it last week when we said, who do you think that was? And I said it with him.
You did say that. You did. Shouts out to the Mooch.
He tossed his ass like a sack of potatoes off of that balcony.
Man, let me tell you something. That sack of potatoes ain't have nothing on this brother. Anita, what was you thinking when you saw this? Was it not crazy?
Trouble. I'm telling you, that's why Teddy had to play his hand like that, because he knew that he was like off the leash. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, Moochie did call that last week about that being him. And yeah, that's pretty much, I enjoyed it. I ain't had no problems with it.
Me neither.
I had a Mexican Brad Pitt talking about we need to get out of here.
Yeah, but the CIA lady, she called it already. She said if something happens, they're going to run to that house.
Yeah. That's what she said.
She told them that.
So, and they
she
was prepared.
DFS, actually.
He said, Gustavo was like, you know what? I'm gonna push this along a little faster. It's taking too long.
That's what he did. Larry, what was your thoughts on this whole scene? And everybody knew Gustavo. I mean, even before this, he had a loose screw anyway. But it was a kind of loose screw you could deal with. He really unscrewed him when he came home and saw that blood on the floor. Larry, thoughts on this scene?
Yeah, I don't think that was a loose screw. I think that was what he doing, and Reed, and this was, and I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, this was wrong because Reed let him, Reed made it almost seem like it was your fault that we didn't have the Mexican government because if you didn't throw the dude off the roof. But Reed sanctioned this. He knew when he drove this dude to that club and let him out the car by himself. He knew exactly that what Gustavo was going to do. He knew Gustavo wasn't gonna go over there with a silk glove. He knew he was going to go put hands on that dude every which way from Friday, which is exactly what he did. So I think Reed wanted this to happen like this. I don't think he wanted the Mexican intelligence agency involved with them going after and killing this dude. I think he wanted to go it alone with Gustavo and set it up so that it would happen.
Okay. Well, you know what? It don't matter to me. I enjoyed every minute of it. Gustavo, Javestro, or whatever you like, he got his revenge, and I was satisfied. Now, this one I'm gonna go to you first, Larry. I'm interested to see what you got to say about this. This is the power brokers meeting. This is when the two kings sat down with each other, and the deal was sealed. Thoughts when you saw this deal get sealed, Larry?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going down. I knew this was gonna happen. I mean, the dude wanted to sit down with Franklin and see. I think the reason why things went down that way, he wants to do more business with Franklin, and he wanted to have him. He wanted to sit across from him and look in his eyes and see what this kid's about. He wanted to know Frank. He wanted to look at him and know, is this somebody that I can deal with? You know, because if Franklin would have came in there looking like some sort of thug or acting like some street dude, he probably would have been like, okay, I'll get this done for you, and then I don't want to deal with you anymore. But he looked at Franklin, he watched him, he looked at the way he moved, he listened to the things he the questions that he asked, and I think he's looked at Franklin and said, yeah, I like this kid. He's young. He may not have the experience that he needs yet, but I can help him get there. I think he's gonna be a mentor in a lot of ways. Don't get me wrong, the dude's slippery and shady. He's gonna try and extract as much money out of Franklin as he possibly can during that process. But I think he's gonna try and do right by him.
Okay, Nita, thoughts on this scene?
Yeah, you know, he does seem like he did admire him for the way he moved and stuff like that. And this could turn into an allyship. But like I said, with those people, there's still going to be some kind of back end that he's going to come at him sideways some kind of way. And the good thing about how they're playing Franklin, like, I like that they still have some flaws with him, and that way we have somewhere to go with his character and stuff like that. And so the mentoring could turn out to be something good. And you know, he got some wisdom with him, and he seems like he needs a little bit. So, yeah.
Okay. And Mooch, last but not least, what did you think?
I think he likes him because he sees that he's educated, and he sees that he just doesn't want to do this. He wants to be a businessman. He's just doing this right now to get money, and he doesn't want to stay in this.
Okay. I mean, hey, you know, every drug dealer wants to figure out a way to not end their career in the two ways that traditionally end. Either you're dead or you're in jail. And maybe he's going to try to give Franklin a way to get out of that. We'll see. We'll see. I still think at some point in time, these two going to bump heads on something. It's bound to happen. No way around that.
Yeah, Franklin's probably not going to do something that he wants him to do, and that's how it's going to go bad. Or it's going to have something to do with money.
It's definitely going to be about the money. I mean, almost everything is about the damn money. It don't matter where you go with. Hell, you go to Walmart to get your prescription. That shit's about the money. I mean, it's going to happen. We'll see. Yeah. All right. Now, this is a scene that I think we all can say unanimously we enjoyed thoroughly. And I'm talking about when old cop monkey walks up into the station, talks to his boss, and his boss is like, bruh, take your ass downtown. You working evidence. Don't let me see you again. Nita the Diva, did you get any joy and excitement out of this scene?
Yep. I was like, his face was cracked. But see how he did. He straight punked him like no cut cause. He wasn't being not. He was crass about it. He was just like, you know what? Get the fuck on. I was like, oh, okay. I loved it.
Me too. Moochie, did you like this scene? Did you get some enjoyment from this scene?
Yes, because he said, I don't know whose wife you slept with. I don't know who you pissed off. If there's any pushback, you're going down. I was like, yes, I was clapping my hands.
Oh my God.
He was like, I don't know whose wife you slept with.
Oh.
He had the Scooby-Doo look like, like
yep. The white monkey. Larry, you get to clean it up. What did you think about this scene?
Yeah, man, I love this because this scene, even though it was that white police captain and that white patrol officer, this scene was all about Franklin. It was all about what Franklin had just done, and that was fantastic. And it was like Franklin had rained down so much fear that this captain, it was like whoever spoke to the captain said, you're going to get this done. You're going to get it done today. And if you don't get it done, we will get rid of you too. And then get it done, get someone else who will get it done. Yep. So, because this dude came in, he was so cold about it. He was like, I don't know whose wife you slept with. I don't know who you pissed off. I don't know what you did. In fact, I don't care, but you are off the streets, effective immediately. Go downtown. You're now working evidence, and that was it. And he even said when dude started to say something, he was like, if you say even the littlest thing, the smallest pushback, you think about filing a lawsuit or going to the union, anything, and you are out of here. It was like this dude had received word directly from Mayor Bradley himself that said this dude's got to go. You know,
Hey,
so that really just showed how much Franklin was moving away from the streets.
oh yeah, I mean he's gonna assume. There's no way he's not gonna assume somehow, some way this is connected to Franklin, unless he's got dirty dealings with multiple people. Which, for all we know,
like he's just a dirty cop all the way around. That's why he trying to figure out where it's coming from.
It could be, but if the last person he accosted was Franklin, and he knows how Franklin moved, he's got to assume it's Franklin. Or he could be one of these dudes that be like, you know what? Because I don't know who really did it, I'm going to get everybody. But obviously, he ain't got that much pull, because if he can walk into this guy's office and this guy can punk him the way he did and have him looking like Scooby-Doo stole him, bro, you ain't got no power. You got to do what you got to do. So, but I can tell you right now, he ain't done messing with Franklin. You can believe that.
Yeah, he got to take.
But you know what's great is that. But you know what's great? Franklin, not only did he get this dude off the street, he saved himself money. He no longer has to pay that dude. That dude's off the payroll now.
Larry, I'm telling you, no, he's not. No,
I don't think so.
Eventually, Franklin might have to kill this guy. He might have to kill him.
He might.
So you think he's still gonna be paying? Franklin's still gonna be paying him?
Oh hell no! Franklin's not gonna pay him. No.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have to.
He's gonna want payment. I mean, Franklin ain't gonna pay him, but he's gonna want payment, and then he's gonna want some retribution. So you people just keep this in the back of your mind as this story navigates. We ain't seen the end of old Officer Monkey. We ain't done with him. Now I've got another scene for y'all.
Nita
got a question.
I'm sorry, Nita. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I was wondering, that was the same cop that he paid the 20 G's to handle Inglewood, right?
Yep.
Now, what if he threatens to go back to them to tell them that what he was trying to do, or trying to expose him in some kind of way that will kind of keep Franklin playing the hand, or have them going after Franklin and setting up some kind of confusion or something?
Franklin got so much dirt on him too. I don't see him going after Franklin in that manner, because Franklin got a lot of dirt on him. Franklin's got as much dirt on him as he think he got on Franklin. But Larry, what do you think about her question?
Yeah, I mean, he could try that, but I just don't. I mean, he can go holler at Scully and his people, but I mean, for one, he'd have to get to Scully, which I don't know if he would. And two, I mean, Scully might believe him, but
Scully's so crazy.
I mean, yeah, he's crazy, and even if he tells him that, I mean, Scully might just kill that dude. Right? They were so scared. Those cops were so terrified. They were like, "I'm not going up in that place. You're trying to get us killed." I think they're way too scared to go over there.
Yeah, I mean, if I saw Cuba Gooding Jr. looking the way Scully looked, I don't know if I want to cross the street with him either. I'm gonna just keep that thing real. And as we move on to the next subject, a scene that I think everybody enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, Larry's channel, Moochie's, and Nita. All the information in the video description. I think we got joy out of this because we wanted Gustavo to get some get back. So this is after they toss homeboy off the roof like a sack of groceries, and they get to Fuentes's house, the Hispanic Brad Pitt. They get to his house. And when they get there, Teddy gets shot. So does Gustavo. But did that stop them? Hell no. They get down here as Fuentes is trying to get away. Gustavo gets his ass, points the gun in his face, puts two in his kneecaps, and eventually choked him the hell out. Lights out. Moochie, thoughts on this scene? Was it gratifying, and did they pay off this character the way you wanted it to be paid off?
He should have asked where the kid was.
Okay.
He should have asked where the kid was, and he choked the life out of him and watched him die. That's the part I like. And the two headshots in the beginning when they were sitting there playing cards.
Oh, Remind me not to ever come to New York and make you upset. Larry, it's on you.
I mean, I'll tell you, there's something about this scene that we haven't talked about that hasn't been mentioned, which I think is such a I mean, just from a geopolitical standpoint, needs to be addressed, and that is, we watched a CIA agent go over into Mexico and kill a police officer. Could you imagine if some other country's intelligence officer came here and killed a cop? Could you imagine how much crap that would start? I mean,
Larry, I can't imagine, because we've just seen people go storm the Capitol from south of America itself, in Georgia, Texas, wherever the hell they came from. They hurt cops and ain't nothing happening to them.
Yeah, but those were American white people. They don't count because Americans don't think of them as anything bad. That's just the way it is. But could you imagine if a Mexican person, if a Mexican intelligence officer or somebody from Lebanon or someone came over here and shot a cop and killed him like that, killed a whole, I mean, there was a bunch of cops and they killed them all. That would be, I mean, it would be a huge international incident. But I like the scene. I thought it was a really great scene. I thought this thing went down pretty, with the exception of Teddy getting shot. I think it went down exactly how he wanted it to go down, where they went in there, they killed everybody, they didn't leave any witnesses that we know of, and Gustavo got to kill dude by him, actually got to take dude out. So I think it went down the way it was supposed to go down. I think what we saw at the very end of that scene is that Gustavo's still going to be a little bit off the chain, because the way that we saw him, he killed that dude and then he just screamed out with just like this major release. I think he's still really, really angry. And now now that he's killed this dude, he got the revenge he wanted. He still has to contend with the fact that his partner is a CIA agent. And now he's going to have to come to some realization and reckoning with that.
Yeah, and they tied together forever at this point. Nita the Diva, how did you feel about this scene? Did it give you the satisfaction you wanted, considering old Officer Brad Pitt Mexican did what he did last week?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed the build-up of this episode, because episode 1 and episode 2 was so chaotic and a lot was going on, and I kind of really liked the setup and the build-up and how they paid it off at the end. That car scene right there, love that right there. That was it for me. I was shook that they had got shot. Didn't they both get shot? They both got shot.
No, just the one.
Yeah, just that one. The other guy getting out the car is Fuentes.
I'm talking about
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was 2 in the front. Yeah, they both got shot. That's right.
No, I'm talking about Teddy and Gustavo.
Yeah.
No, it looked like Gustavo got shot because Gustavo ducked and then Teddy shot that dude in the back.
Right. Yeah.
You could tell that there was some CIA training behind that, because they executed that way better than what Franklin and all of them how they did. How they got.
No, you didn't go there.
That other guy that kid was high.
No, you did not go there, Nita.
Like they said, they needed to be up. You need the high ground. Take them all out. Don't be involved in that little stuff. You gotta be up there on the raft.
Nita, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I didn't understand. Why was all of them in the canister and you had rafters and stuff up there? Somebody could have been up there, and two of them out of that whole group was from Vietnam. How did they know to go up there and be in the rafters to shoot?
Well, obviously on this show, if you're going to be a good shooter, you need to be Gustavo or in the CIA. It ain't happened with nobody in that crew. And that brings us, my family, to the very last scene. And I think we've already hit on this, that we see not only a budding professional relationship going on, but we also see a budding personal relationship going on. And that's with the reporter Irene and good old officer Mr. Feelgood. Larry, you get this story first. How do you feel about where they're taking these two in this story?
Yeah, I can see a romantic relationship building out of this, because both of them are taking a real chance with their lives and talking about this very subject, not just because of the people that don't want to get touched, but because you're dealing with a large government conspiracy. And and then you have all the street level drugs and cartel level drug trade and all that. So I can see where these two, because of the danger and the fear and all that stuff, which it has a tendency to bring people and bond people together. I can see them having a romantic relationship. And now that she realizes her ex-husband is with someone else, she's going to allow herself probably to be more open where she wouldn't have before.
Okay. Well said. I mean, you said that like you need to be assisting Dr. Phil on the couch, helping out relationships. Muchella, giving it to you. What do you think is going to happen between these two?
Well, we know she loves the chocolate.
Oh, wait.
She like that chocolate.
What kind of chocolate she like? Is it milk chocolate or is it dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate, because the other one was dark too.
I'm not messing with y'all.
Oh,
not getting me in trouble during Women's History Month.
Hey, I'm just laughing at her joke. I'm supporting women. I got women on the show. So by saying that, Moochie, are you saying that not only is she going to get the information out of him, but she's going to get some of that white cream in the middle of his chocolate out of him too?
She got a lot more information this time than last time.
Yeah, she
did. Because remember, he was trying to get information because he was like, we got to stop this kid. He's involved with this with a cop killer.
That's true. That's true. Boy, I can't do nothing with the mooch. And Nita, it's on you. Where's this relationship going with these two?
It's going to be a little give and take. When one person has to put themselves in harm's way, you're going to have to end up coasting them along. So I can see the womantic, but I don't think, will it be romantic? I just think it'll be transactional. But she might be a little heartbroken because of her ex-husband, moved on.
Mm-hmm.
So, he gonna take advantage of her basically.
Oh goodness. No, wait a minute. I got to see faces on. So Nita, let me get this straight.
Gave her 1 and 2. If she continues to pursue this, she could die.
Exactly.
He gave her a warning. So
I think one of these two gonna die. And Larry's almost about to convince me that Irene is not going to die. So if she's not going to die, Mr. Feelgood Bar here, he's going to have to die. One of these two is going to get in too deep, and somebody going to kick the bucket.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be her.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll pencil it there, ladies and gentlemen. Great review from the panel. Like I said, everybody's information is in the video description. Be sure to subscribe to all their channels. And
can I say one thing?
Yeah, go for it.
There's one point I want to say. I'm going through here. We keep talking about someone who's going to die. I'm a little bit scared for Gustavo at this point, to be honest with you, because now that Teddy has, Reed is outed himself and revealed who he is. That puts Gustavo in a real vulnerable situation because he knows all this dirt that he's done. He knows that he's gone out there and sold drugs with him. He knows he's gone out there and sold arms with them. He's gone out there and murdered, Mexican police officers with them. I mean, he knows all this stuff that Reed has done. And when it comes down to it, if Reed needs to make sure that his stuff is kept quiet, what's the quickest and easiest way to do it? Kill Gustavo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at this point, I'm a little worried for Gustavo. Like his time might be limited.
So, but you don't think he needs Gustavo for anything at this point?
He needs Gustavo to help move drugs, but I feel like you might be able to find somebody else to do that. But even if it's not, we already know that Franklin is telling him, hey, I know you need me to keep making money so that you can fund your war. But he's asking him, what happens after this war is over? So what happens after the war is over? Not only does Franklin maybe end up out on his own where he has to fend for himself, but now what happens to Gustavo? Because don't get me wrong, it's not just going to be Reed. Reed works for the CIA. The CIA is going to want to clean all this stuff up, and the quickest way to clean stuff up is just to get rid of the people, kill them off. They're not going to care about them. They're going to be like, these are a bunch of murderous drug dealers. No one's going to miss them, and they're just going to clean house.
Well,
So I'm a little worried for Gustavo at this point.
I'm not worried about him. For some reason, I'm not worried about it. It just feels like he's too pivotal of a character to get rid of if they're going to have some more seasons. I mean, they might, but for some reason, I'm just not worried about him at all.
He knows just as much as the other guy, though, the guy with the guns.
Yeah.
And we saw how quickly he was ready to dispose of that dude. He walked up on that dude and put a gun. He was like, I will end you if you do not get your job done. He was like, I pay you to do a job. He was like, do your job. Mm-hmm. And he let him know, if you don't do your job, I will kill you. You mean nothing to me.
Yeah, and I feel like people like Gustavo is kind of like a dime a dozen in Mexico. Like,
aren't
they kind of like out there?
Boy, I don't know what you ladies on Women's Month have had to eat today, but man, y'all came with some jokes tonight. Boy, I don't want to get on nobody's bad side during the month of March. Not if you're a woman. I'm out of it. So, look, I'm out of it. Ladies and gentlemen, here's some other things.
The most violent month of the year, March.
Wow. And this is supposed to be the lucky month. And this is St. Patrick's Day. You're supposed to get lucky this month. But for those who want to know what me and Larry and the crew are going to be covering the rest of this month, take a look at this lineup of things we got to talk about. This is just what's slated on Disney Plus and on HBO Max. You've got Marvel Assembled, one episode. Then you've got Marvel Legends. Then you've got HBO Max, the Justice League, the Snyder Cut, March the 18th. Then March 19th, which I will start doing some backstory reviews for, you got the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and we can't wait for that. Then to end up the month, you got Godzilla versus Kong. And if you're feeling real good, tonight at midnight, you got Coming to America.
It already dropped. It dropped early.
Oh, it's already out?
It dropped at 9 o'clock.
And you see it already?
It's 8 early.
In the chat.
Oh,
nice.
Okay. I don't even want to ask you nothing about it because we might discuss it tomorrow if we can get through the WandaVision finale, because I'm just wondering what they're going to have in store for us. You know, I've seen some people that said don't be overexcited. I've seen some people that said we're going to be crying. But whatever happens, we're going to let you know how we feel. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow. Don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe to everybody's channel. And until that next Sex is Hell video, which will be tomorrow, we'll all see you.
Peace.